Hey, I thought we were playing a game here. I thought we were. No,
No.
you really know how to dampen somebody's spirit.
You got to work.
That's true. Anywho, you know who it is. It's Zeus Cruz of Olympian Multimedia giving you another segment of Get Things Done. This particular segment, we're going to scroll over here. Looks like I got to put in the password. Oh, no, how convenient it was. I went straight to what we were talking about today. Gotta love technology, right? As you can see on the screen, you're wondering what is going on here, Zeus. Well, I have been contacted by quite a few people who wanted to get an understanding of how I go about doing the virtual videos, right? So if you checked out some of the videos, different people that I have interviewed, different type of video segments I have done with different individuals, you notice sometimes I'm like within this virtual setting, virtual studio, and people were wondering, is it too much of a setup to create something like this? Clearly, a lot of podcasts is virtual, right? So they use some type of platform with some type of equipment in order to go ahead and film, right? Well, in this particular case, it's very easy. And I'm going to enlighten you guys on my setup, on what we do here. And hopefully this helps you out if you are looking into doing your own podcast or just doing different types of random video segments virtually. So if you look on the screen, the platform that I go through, if you notice over here in the corner, it's called Zencastr. And they are really great. I know a lot of people utilize other ones such as like Riverside. And there's a few others as well. Sort of having a little bit of a brain fart, remembering them. But again, as I always enlighten you guys all the time, it's all about doing your research, right? Finding something that fits not only your budget, but it's also for you to easily navigate the interface. That's one thing I have to recommend for you guys out there. If you do decide to start doing this and setting this up, please try to find something that is easy to navigate through. You know, you don't want to go into something where it's a little bit complicated and you have to do a lot of like clicking and a lot of like exploring through the interface just to get an understanding of just doing the simple functions so that you can go ahead and film. So that's the only thing that's the big thing that I recommend for you guys. Zencastr seems to be very easy for me to utilize. So once you set up an account, yes, they offer a free version. Anything that comes free, you guys already know is going to be limited as far as what kind of options that comes along with it. But it's not bad as far as pricing is concerned. They do have a monthly fee. I believe it's like $20 a month for the monthly fee, I believe. I do believe there's different tiers depending on exactly what you want. But if you were going to do the yearly, it's only $288 a month. I mean, $288 a year, excuse me, if you're going to do the yearly plan. I don't find that very expensive. It might be out of your budget, but $288 for a whole year, it's not bad. And you get all the features, all the different options, and so forth that is accompanied with Zencastr. So it's up to you depending on your budget. I just made one real quick just to illustrate this for this video, for the sake of the video. I got Olympian Multimedia is cool. So once you come into this interface, you'll have all your sessions that you have done thus far. Then you have some more options over here as far as like your episodes, how you can make your clips. Yes, this gives you the capabilities of making clips of whatever your segment is. It gives you the analytics if you decide that whatever footage you have, you want it to go public so other people can check out your video footage. Once you get to a certain quota or threshold, you can monetize the footage that you put out there. And that dynamic insertion, I don't know too much about this. I haven't dealt with that too much. Please put in the comments if you do have some understanding of it to let me know. It's definitely something I would, on my own, do some more research on. But for the sake of this video, we got Olympian Multimedia is cool. You will come up here and create your title. You also have the options of allowing people to join your session, right? So you can send that link to them. You can also add different files, like different types of video footage on there. If you wanted to like illustrate certain points that you're making and you actually have the videos to accompany it, you can add it here. Once you click on it, this is the basic setup of Zencastr. As you can see, we have the footage of me right there and yours truly, Nani, the artist over here, as we're illustrating this. Before you even get into this, you have to do a couple things first in order to obviously ensure that you're going to properly put your segment together and that you're going to record it properly. What do I mean by that? Well, clearly you need a camera, right? So if you notice up here, the camera that I have up here is called the Acer. I talked about it a lot, use their products a lot. An Acer 4K webcam. Yes, laptops come with a webcam already, right? And they have inbuilt speakers that you can utilize so that it can capture your audio. I recommend actually getting an actual webcam. This Acer is like really, really good. It offers up to 4K when it comes to video footage, the formatting. It also has a built-in mic as well, if you want to utilize that instead of the one that is built into your laptop. And the great thing about this is plug and play. So you instantly can just plug this into your USB port and it instantly syncs to your computer so that you can go ahead and start capturing footage. Now, I did say this comes with a microphone. It's a pretty good microphone. I still recommend using another type of microphone, a condenser mic, again, that you can put into your USB port. So I have that back here. And this particular model is a HyperX condenser mic. And they're pretty affordable. This particular model costs around $60. And it captures audio tremendously. There's no latency issues when it comes to this. There's no like dropouts when it comes to the audio. You don't hear any kind of static or distortion in the background. These mics are really, really good. I know some people are not really big with the type of mics, especially if you plug it up USB. But I haven't had any kind of issues with this whatsoever. So I definitely recommend this. If you don't decide to use an actual microphone, using the one in this particular model, and I'm pretty sure they have other webcam models that offer the same thing where they have a microphone built into it. I would just personally recommend this one. It's called the Acer 4K webcam. And it's pretty reasonable as well as far as pricing. You're looking at around $89, $90, which is not bad either. For less than $100, you get good quality, as you can see here. You notice there's like no fuzziness or grainy when it comes to the video. It's pretty clear. Yes, we're kind of a little dim here with the tone as far as a little dark, you know what I mean? But clearly we had like some more lighting. You'll see a lot of things a lot more clear, but that has nothing to do with the lens itself. It's great. It is easy to use. You just plug it in. That's it. When you come into this interface, you notice how simple it is. It literally can't get any more easier. You come up here to call settings. You notice it breaks it down for your audio inputs, outputs, your cameras, the type of resolution that you want. And then you would just click on it and just pick the correct one that you're going to utilize. It's really that simple, guys. You just go down and pick the correct microphone that you're going to be using, your camera. And see, you could change it from HD to 4K. Again, keep this in mind. If you're going to shoot in 4K, your camera has to have that capability. right? So just because you're putting it in 4K, you may not actually capture your footage in 4K because your camera doesn't have that built-in technology to capture and take 4K footage. So just keep that in mind as well. Your computer is not going to make your device instantly into 4K or HD. It already has to be built into that device. Just a heads up. And then down here you got the echo cancellation, which is obviously very important. You don't want to have that echo as people are talking. And this runs off a built-in VoLP. So this is basically online, and it runs through online, runs through your internet, how you operate the platform. And then each person has their own dedicated status bar where it allows you to understand if they're having any kind of audio or video problems. It actually does, as you can see here, it does like what is called a health check to ensure that everything is running properly. And then down here, if we were actually recording, you would see the bandwidth where the audio is coming in. You get an understanding of like the peaks and what you will have to do later on when it comes to mix, to ensure like the audio is just, running smooth and properly, and it sounds, it has that clarity. And then right here, it doesn't show you, but it is automatically making a transcript of everything that's being spoken within your footage, right? Then over here, you have chats where you can actually chat via messaging. If you have to go over certain things with your guests, you can communicate through here by letting off your messages. And then up here, you can actually break it down into actual intros, outros, which will automatically streamline into your footage. And then you can add some little special effects, audio effects, excuse me, something simple. Kind of low the volume. They're low for a reason. But as you can see, it's just simple audio samples. It's nothing like high tech or anything like that. Usually, if you're going to be in this kind of format, you don't want to have too much going on as far as like effects are concerned. A lot of times, if you're in this setting, it's strictly having this discussion, right? You're interviewing somebody, you're discussing something based off some type of topic. So that's why it's very stringent. On a past video, we talked about how to conduct a segment, how to conduct an interview. Just make sure that you have an outline in play so you have an understanding of exactly what you want to discuss, and that you actually stick to the theme and the purpose of what you want your viewers to, as far as their understanding, what message that you're trying to relay through there. That's all vital, right? And then also too, if you look on the interface, you could break it down where it's like it's no video. You could just actually just do audio right here on Zencastr. If you're not going to do video, or if you're going to do both, just make sure that you highlight that to ensure that you're doing video and you're doing audio, right? Again, you have the other option if you didn't do it on the previous screen, that you could just go up here and invite whoever you were going to invite as your guest. Again, you can utilize this as well if you were just doing this yourself as well. Right? And then right here, last but not least, you just start recording. It's usually a 3-second delay, and then you just go about and start doing your footage. Pretty simple, right? And then once you're done, I'm going to show you another example. This is one that I use. Our last video utilizing Zencastr is with shout out to author Khaled Uden. We did our interview for his new book, World on Fire, right here on Zencastr. And you notice the recording is all there. It allows you to create, or it automatically creates a preview for you where you could kind of like skim through the video footage, see what needs to be corrected, or maybe you're just fine with the footage as is, right? And then if you come up to here to post productions, this gives you an understanding of you making different types of footage and the different configurations, the editing that you did to it. It'll all be here for you to check out. And each one will have its own dedicated file. You click on it, and then you could just go ahead. You can either preview it or click on it itself. The editing program on here is not very extensive at all. It's just something very simple. Again, look at the confines of what you're in. You're not looking to do too much as far as editing and adding all these different types of effects and all these other different types of things that you can normally do in a normal circumstance if you were just doing like a regular video. You know, it's just meant to have like kind of like that face-to-face with whoever's your guest, and then you're just having a discussion. But as you can see, you know, you could just click and drag, create your title, create your description. Again, you have the option of publishing your episode, and then you can also download it onto your device. And see, it keeps a tally of your clips once you make them. And then, see, I would just, you know, break it down. And again, with the fonts and the coloring, the shading, when it comes to like putting the captions for your clips, you have control as far as exactly what you want to do with that. You know, here's your settings where you could give a brief description. You can actually group these clips into one continuous video where it goes from one clip to another to another. You could give a description of it. You can also add some topics. And then you can feed these clips into different platforms. And then you could put your logo as well. Then you come down here. You have some advanced settings, excuse me. You could break it down to let people know if the footage that you did is explicit. You can even break it down and show to viewers if it's episodic or is it serial as far as your show type. Put your name in as an author. You can also show your email or not. And then keywords and tags, which is pretty much similar to your topics up here. So when people look at it, they get an understanding of exactly what your footage is. And that's about it. Again, I definitely recommend it. It's called Zencastr. It's definitely affordable, whether you're going to do a monthly or do a yearly subscription. I definitely recommend it versus some of these other platforms. No disrespect to them. Again, do your due diligence, do your research, find the one that's more comfortable. I just like this one because the interface is very easy to use, very easy to navigate. The functionality is pretty straightforward. You're just clicking a couple buttons and everything's good to go. As long as you go in your settings and ensure that you pick the correct microphone and camera to capture your audio and capture the video, everything is pretty much fine. It pretty much runs on its own. It's pretty much self-efficient as well. I haven't had any issues with it as well. It's been great. And last but not least, again, you can utilize your laptop mic and camera, webcam that's incorporated into your laptop, or if you were using some kind of tablet. Again, I wouldn't recommend that. I definitely recommend using the Acer 4K webcam. But again, do your research, find one that you're comfortable with. And I would use an external mic instead of the mic that's provided. So I hope this was helpful. I'm glad you guys tuned in. You know who it is. It's Zeus Cruz of Olympian Multimedia. And the only thing left to say is get things done. Check it later.